HCTV Sports is supported by the Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs.
Making the play. He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's over. Save. Oh my God!
Did you see that?
Great diving play.
He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
Joining us as well on Hastings Community Television tonight as the Hastings Raiders and the Waconia Wildcats meet in a little Metro East versus Metro West battle here. And if you joined us on the radio side, we talked about the common opponents. Derek Simon, who joins me now, that these teams have. Waconia coming off a win over Hopkins, or a loss to Hopkins rather, a team that Hastings beat. And they play New Prague later this week, a team that Hastings beat, a New Prague team that just beat Bloomington Jefferson, a team Hastings lost to. But as we see the goaltender matchups, it will be Merrick Wozniak versus Nick Smelzer in the battle of the number 30s. That 932 rather, save percentage for Wozniak against Smelzer's 905. They've been good. Smelzer, this will be the third time in the last 4 games that Smelzer's been in net.
Yeah, Nick's really improved this year. That's one of the things about the Raiders 9-7 this year is the goaltending is so much better this year.
Yeah.
Both the boys have improved a lot. And expecting probably another real close 3-2, 2-1 type game with these good goalies in that.
Yeah, if it's anything like the JV game, we may see some chippy stuff as well.
There's some fireworks and some rumors of suspensions from that game already.
Oh boy. Well, we are underway here at Hastings Civic Arena. We won't dwell on that one any further as we are underway here, and the Waconia Wildcats try to get the puck through the Hastings offensive zone. Jack Woodwick up to Will Savage, and here comes Carter Hansen quickly trying to center one to Jonas Schauer. But he's turned aside by Connor Reek, number 14 for Waconia. Here come the Waconia Wildcats in purple. They'll take a shot. Smelzer will make the first big save of the game. And Jonas Schauer goes to work with the Raiders. Schauer just dumps it into the offensive zone. Wozniak throws it off the boards. And it squirts toward the neutral zone to Carter Strong, who flips it up around behind the Waconia net. That's where Brendan Clemens, the junior defenseman, gets to it. Turned over to Finn Zaruba. And Zaruba back to the point now to Blake Weber. Weber can't get a pass towards his intended target. Brecken Fullerton and the Wildcats briefly get to it at the red line. And towards the corner it comes now for Maxwell Kelly. Tied up there in the corner. It's Kelly again. Waconia's got a whole host of guys that have scored a lot of points this year. Kelly is one of them and leads the team in goals. There's a shot that was nearly fanned on and turned back over to Ryland Kraut. Now it'll roll towards the near side boards. And in the corner, that's where Finn Zaruba just past the stick of Ryland Kraut. They both scored on Saturday, combined for 3 of the 5 goals actually on Saturday. Zaruba scored twice in about 30 seconds to give Hastings a 4-1 lead against Tartan. Then they had to hold on, led 4-3 late in the third. And then Hastings made it so Tartan could not pull their goalie, and Ryland Kraut scored anyway to finish it off 5-3.
That was huge at the end of that game, just keeping that possession down there and keeping that goaltender in that.
Face-off goes behind the Raider net. Michael Kennedy tries to get it out, but did it again. Waconia has it on the near side as Carter Dietz tries to pass it towards one of his intended Wildcats. Raiders without a shot here through the first 2 minutes so far in this game. Michael Kennedy gets it towards the neutral zone for Andrew McGraw, and the Wildcats can't clear it. Now Mommer gets to it. He puts one on Wozniak, and Kennedy has it back in the near corner. Kennedy tries to center it towards Mommer. It's Niederkorn has it at the near point. It'll loop all the way around the boards back to the far point to Woodwick. We'll call that a pass. And back to Niederkorn. Niederkorn in the corner. Gets hit by Chase Lorenzen for Waconia. And the Wildcats are able to get it towards the neutral zone, but onto the stick of Woodwick, who floats it up. Turned back over, though, to Michael Kennedy. Kennedy trying to find Jonas Schauer, who gets behind the Wildcats, has to dodge the official. The puck goes into the corner now on the near side in the offensive zone for Hastings.
Michael Kennedy's been playing a 4-period night again tonight. He's been asking for some extra ice time going down to JV and getting that period in there as well.
Yeah, I believe 4 periods is the most you can play, so guys like Isaac Myers and Alex McGraw will only see for 1 varsity period at most tonight. JV did lose tonight 6-1, but your kid got the goal.
Zach did get a goal tonight, which was nice, but yeah, it was a tough game, 4-0 after 1, and then they hung in there. Waconia got a couple late, ended up with the 6-1 win.
Now we set up with Waconia, basically setting up as if it's a power play. They take a shot from the far point, and Smelzer makes the save.
Just really impressed with Smelzer this year, how much he's improved, and he looked so, nervous almost like when he got in that game at Cottage Grove last year, and he didn't get a lot of ice time, and man, he's just been on fire all year. Really fun to see these guys improve.
Both Smelzer and Charlie Stoffel have shutouts this year as well, which is huge for them. And we also got to see Charlie Colvin briefly on Saturday in net as well for the Raiders. So all 3 have played varsity time now.
Charlie's another good goalie, just happens to be the 3rd one.
Shot there from the circle by Waconia. May have deflected off a Raider towards Smelzer. Smelzer has to make the save, and it's Waconia kind of dominating the early portion of this game right now, as they've got it in the corner now for Kyler Cox. Cox behind the Hastings net, and Blake Weber is able to get the puck off of Cox's stick. And now Weber's got it into the corner for Jonas Schauer. Waconia with some sustained offensive zone time there, but nothing really dangerous coming out of it. They do have a 3-1 shot advantage here right now, 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Raiders just having trouble getting out of their own end, and when they do, it's almost time for a line change.
This one dumped back in by Waconia. Smelzer floats it off the boards toward the near side, and Finn Zaruba had it on his stick, but it hits his skate and ricochets back towards the red line, where it's carried back in by the Wildcats. They would have been offside, so they let it go, and Rylan Kraut has it back between the circles. Goes tape to tape for Zaruba, who speeds in, loses the puck at the hash mark, gets it back to Kraut. His shot's deflected and goes behind the Waconia net. And now it's going to be Brecken Fullerton, who's got a goal this year for the Raiders. Floats that one off the boards towards Luke Niederkorn here on the near side. Niederkorn at the hash marks, has it back at the circle, looking for Fullerton. It's turned aside by Isaiah Stifter for Waconia. Leonard has it now for Hastings behind the Raider net, as it will bounce off of Waconia's skate and out of bounds. 12:03 to go, first period, and no score. This is a Waconia team scoring over 3 goals a game, giving up 3 goals a game. It's a Hastings team with very similar stats. Raider power play coming in at 15%, penalty kill at 78, so I know they want those numbers to be higher. They gave up a 5-on-3 on Saturday against Tartan.
Yeah, the boys have had a lot of close games, and they found a way to win most of those. I believe they're something like 5-1, I believe, in 1-goal games.
And they've had a couple come from behind ones, especially at the South St. Paul Premier Tournament, and then South St. Paul kind of collapsed back on January 6th at United Heroes League, but also you got to give the Raiders a lot of credit in that one too.
Another one that came back. Yeah, South St. Paul has been really tough on the Raiders this year.
This one will go behind the Hastings net, and that is going to be Elliot Hagan, who tries to find Brecken Fullerton in the neutral zone, but the puck goes too far. It goes behind the Waconia net, and it's going to be nearly cleared, but turned back over to Andrew McGraw for just a moment. And now trying to thread the needle is Lorenzen for Waconia. Goes into the corner for Woodwick. Woodwick just past McGraw. Here's a shot that ricochets once, twice, and stays out of the crease. I'm not even sure Smelzer even made a play on that one. It just ricocheted off a couple of players in goal.
Yeah, I believe it just pinballed wide and didn't have to make a save at all on that.
So here goes Kennedy. Had it for a moment in the neutral zone. Now Woodwick has it. Kennedy just dumps it in, and Wozniak comes out of his net to get it. Puck is tied up in the corner. Kennedy makes a play. Waconia calls a penalty. The officials don't agree. Carter Strong tries to make a play on the puck, but it gets through his skates. And up against the half wall now. That's where the two Carters, Hansen and Strong, are tied up with Waconia's number 9, Kyler Cox. And now the Wildcats just dump it in. Back to Carter Strong. Strong along the boards in the corner. Back to the neutral zone. Thrown back in by the Wildcats. And a icing, I believe, is called. I keep wanting to call them the Lakers. That's the town ball team.
That's right.
The Waconia Lakers.
That's funny. Raiders doing a pretty good job here. Just haven't been able to get the offensive going. It's pretty much just been dumping it down the ice mainly. Down in shots 4-1 so far. But offensive zone face-off here. See if you never know. You win a face-off, get a shot on goal.
Raiders have their top line of Hansen, Savage, and Shower on the ice, along with Niederkorn and Leonard, the defensive pairing that's out there right now. Face-off is won by the Wildcats. They'll throw it off the glass. Niederkorn will have it back and nearly gets it to Jonas Shower, but Shower takes a hit. Hansen from the circle goes forehand, backhand on a centering pass to Shower, but he fans on the shot. Now here comes Kelly. Kelly takes a shot, had an open net, but he sends it a bit wide of Smelzer's cage. Now at the half wall. Waconia tries to fire it back towards the circle, but the Raiders do a good job of keeping it out, and now I think we're going to get a hand pass with 9:33 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, Joe Leonard tried to just bat that one out of the zone and came right out to Shower, I believe, who played it, so it'll be a face-off down in the Raiders' end. 9:33 here to go, first period.
Face-off will come to the circle to the right of Smelzer in the Raider defensive zone, and it will be Joey Leonard who gets it out of the face-off. But Waconia now has it back behind the Hastings net briefly with Isaiah Stifter. Stifter thrown up against the boards by a Raider. Here comes Carter Hansen now. Hansen trying to keep it alive in neutral ice, and he somehow gets it into the offensive zone, but it's too far for him. And now Waconia's number 38, Carson Herman, is in the vicinity. And here come the Wildcats trying to go centering pass to Stifter, but it's just behind him. Now the Wildcats set up at the red line. They'll carry it in. They'll take a shot. Ooh, hits the side of the net, not the back of it. And it stays out. It's scoreless. And Woodwick will have the puck in the corner. Woodwick floats it around end to end in the corner towards Ryland Kraut. Off the wall there, Woodwick and Hagen, who play really well together defensively, are tied up there. And the Wildcats have it at the hash marks. Now back to the point, it comes to Clemens. Clemens to Herman, hits the post. With 8:23 to go in the first period, hits the middle of the crossbar and stays in play. And the Wildcats trying to press again offensively, but Woodwick gets a stick on it. Woodwick floats it up, and now it gets to Ryland Kraut. Kraut gets it into the offensive zone, tries to weave between two Wildcats. Fullerton gets it back for a moment, but can't complete the centering pass. It's turned back over. Now Carter Strong will dump the puck in. Wozniak has it behind his net to set up Brendan Clemens. Clemens to Herman, and a pass rolls down to Smelzer, who will stop things with 7:44 to go here in this first period.
Raiders still bottled up. That first line can get the puck down in the zone, but just haven't been able to possess the puck down there. And it's been a lot of dump and chase so far for the Raiders. Shot still 4-1, but as you said, that one, it was right off the crossbar for Waconia.
Strong in the corner off the faceoff. Raiders have had 5 guys that have all really been major contributors this year. As a shot open net, Smelzer thought he had it in the glove, rebounded out, but he was able to get the second save as well. Puck tied up now. Into the corner it goes. Waconia's number 14, Connor Rake, and it goes up out of play. We mentioned it there on the radio side. You know, Shower, Savage, Hansen, and Shower, Savage, Hansen, Kraut, Zaruba. Those 5 have really been the key contributors offensively for the Raiders, but everybody's contributed in their own way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not always about the goals and the assists, but those are your top guys. And 3 of those 5 are juniors, so we'll have them for another year, which will be nice. The other thing about all this guys coming out here, a lot of these guys didn't play Bantam A, they played Bantam B. And that's quite a step up from Bantam B to varsity. And so for them to be 9 and 7, I think is a compliment to them, honestly.
And looking like, with 3 section games to go in the regular season, is a shot to flex. Smelzer has to make the save. We'll finish that point, though, with 3 section games left, Simley, Osseo, and then Matamidi. If the Raiders can win all 3, I think you're sitting pretty for a top 3 seed. But based on the QRF right now, Hastings is actually the 2.
Yeah.
But if they go off of QRF, that's great. If they go off a coach vote, they're probably looking at the 4 at this moment.
And that Matamidi game's going to be awfully tough. They've had some games where they haven't scored a lot, but then you look closer into the game and they're getting 50, 60 shots on net. So they've been pretty dominant as well.
Oh, Will Savage with a nifty move. Gets it behind the Waconia player. 2-on-1 for Jonas Shower, and he scores! Jonas Shower on a 2-on-1 from Will Savage, and the Raiders have a 1-0 lead. And this goal is brought to you by Drew Bauer with Minnesota Realty Company. Give Drew a call for all your realty needs at 651-783-6585.
Savage just came down the wall, got the puck, threw it out front. Shower went hard to the net and tipped it right in. Raiders might be being outshot 7-2, but they now have a 1-0 lead.
All right, Vikings fans, guess what goal that was for Jonas Shower this year? 9.
I don't know if that's a good thing. We better give him another one soon.
That's Jonas Shower's 9th goal of the season. And now we're going to have a stoppage here before the face-off, and I think Carter Hansen's going to the box. They're sending Carter Hansen to the box. Interesting. And now we're going to have a line change for Waconia, and Jonas Shower and Will Savage are talking to the official. I'm wondering if this is unsportsmanlike conduct, if there was something that maybe the officials didn't like that was said in the face-off dock, because now they're moving the face-off to the circle, and Waconia is going to go on the power play. Delay of game is the call. So it'll be delay of game against Carter Hansen. The Raiders still have the 1-0 lead, but now they will be on the kill. Neither power play has been fantastic this year, but Waconia sets up on it. At the point, now moving into the slot from the circle. Shot sails wide by Herman. Now Waconia gets to it from Herman again in the corner. That's Blake Weber and Finn Zaruba. They will get it cleared. Now past Wozniak, who came into the game with a .932 save percentage, but gives up a goal on the second shot of the game for the Wildcats, and the Raiders have a 1-0 lead. Stifter of the Devon variety carries it into the offensive zone for Waconia. And now his brother, I would assume, Isaiah Stifter. Back to Devon Stifter. And from the circle, Savage gets a skate on it and deflects the Kelly shot. Here's Devon Stifter. And we will have a Waconia penalty coming. And a couple of players need to be separated in front of the net. And there goes the power play for the Wildcats. Will now go 4-on-4 for a minute 4, and then the Raiders will have an abbreviated power play.
Yeah, just trying to get some room in front of the net there. Cross-checked Niederkorn and
yep, right in front of Smelzer.
Right over, yeah.
McCullen Mayo right in front of Smelzer. And the Raiders put a little Mayo in the box.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to hide that one right in the middle of everybody.
Yeah.
Just two-hand them right in the back. 5:37 to go here. See if the Raiders can get something going with a little more ice out there.
Now down to a 4-on-4. It kind of feels a little bit like international overtime in a way, with the Olympics coming up here in a couple weeks. And this will be iced by the Raiders off the power play. You've been following that with the ice at the Olympic ice rink and how it's not NHL spec. It's a couple inches, a couple feet shorter than NHL spec.
That I hadn't heard.
That's going to be very, very interesting to follow that.
I was more thinking about the fact that Boldy and Brodeen and some of the Wild players probably won't be able to play now.
Yeah.
With injuries, and what a bummer that is.
Herman with a shot from the circle denied, and the Raiders try to break it out with Kennedy, but it's going to be too far, and Wozniak gets to it first for Waconia. Puck set up at the circle now for the Wildcats with Brendan Clemens. Clemens crosses the red, crosses the blue. Forehand, backhand, centering pass, and a shot and a save by Smelzer, stopping things with 4:53 to go here in period number 1.
Another nice save by Nick. Couple of really nice tip plays by Waconia that Smelzer's been able to find both of them and keep this a 1-0 Hastings lead.
Shots on goal 8-2 in favor of the Wildcats, but the score 1-0 in favor of the Raiders. Carter Strong lays a big hit on Devin Stifter, who is one of the captains for Waconia. Rylan Kraut has the puck at neutral ice, gets it onto the stick of Finn Zaruba, and now Niederkorn floats it up for Kraut. Kraut just dumps it in. There's a lot of that tonight so far, as Derek mentioned. We're back to Hastings full strength, so the Raiders are on the power play, and the puck's touched off sides here with 4:31 to go in the opening period. 54 seconds left on the penalty as Carter Hansen returns to the Raider bench after coming out of the box.
Yeah, abbreviated power play, but it looked pretty good. The power play did over at Tartan. See if we can keep the momentum going on this abbreviated power play.
It's Carter Strong out there with Niederkorn. Niederkorn and kind of Jack Woodwick, when he's out there, are kind of the quarterbacks of the power play for the Raiders as Kraut moves in. And they don't call a penalty, but a lot of folks in gold and blue wanted one there, but did not get one.
Yeah, it looked like Rylan went to the net and got tripped.
Here comes Luke Niederkorn. He'll cross the blue line with it. Niederkorn runs into a Wildcat, and Waconia just flings it off the glass and clears the puck down, and that will be not iced. Smelzer waits for it. Strong is there with 3:45 left in the first period. 8 seconds left on the power play. Raiders, I'm not sure, are going to have a shot on this one. As Carter Strong moving in, we are back to full strength hockey, 5-on-5. Strong in the corner on the offensive zone. Back to Zaruba. Now it's going to be Brecken Fullerton who acts as a defenseman here. And a shot's deflected. The Raiders are able to keep it in for a moment, but then Carter Strong loses it, and it's Devin Stifter with the puck for Waconia. Wildcats have it behind their net. Devin Stifter weaving through onto the stick of Maxwell Kelly. Strong tries to get a stick on it. In front on a pass to McCullen Mayo. And Mayo unable to get it out of there. The Raiders have it tied up. Back to Carter Strong. Strong makes a nifty move, keeps it on a stick. Oh, a couple of nifty moves from Carter Strong. And unfortunately, right as I say that, he commits a penalty and is headed to the box.
Maybe. I know there's a hand pass there for sure, Trey.
Oh, that's what it is. Yep, it's a hand pass. My apologies. He put an arm up by...
The timing was perfect, right? Carter just knocked the guy over, but they called a hand pass. So the Raiders will have an offensive zone face-off.
Yes, indeed they will at the circle here on the near side. Carter Hansen taking the face-off with Connor Reek. And Reek is kicked out in favor of Kyler Cox. It's the Wildcats who will win the face-off. Here's Reek with it against the glass on the far side. Back to Kyler Cox. Jonas Schauer, the goal scorer tonight for the Raiders with 2:33 left. Here's a shot from the circle by Waconia. That's just sent a bit high. 2:28 left first period. 1-0 Raiders. Just 2 shots on goal for Hastings in the period, but they lead 1-0. Smelzer briefly comes out of his net to play it. Schauer has it. And it's over to Jack Woodwick, who turns into a forward for a moment. and dumps the puck in. Now Carter Dietz. Dietz behind his net. Onto the stick of Chase Lorenzen. Lorenzen too far on the pass for Kyler Cox along the far boards. Now to the near side, trying to set one up. Big hit by Blake Weber. And Carter Hansen gets it onto the stick just a bit too far for Will Savage. Woodwick touches it, gets it into the offensive zone. Waconia can't get it into neutral ice. And Hansen just gets it back out to Carter Strong, who's getting some extended minutes here in this first period. And we have an icing.
Yeah, just didn't quite get to that red line. Yeah, minute 33 to go here, first period. Raiders up 1-0.
You take him again. I mean, you look at it, you see the Raiders have 2 shots on goal right now, but they are winning. So, I mean, the shots on goal kind of, sometimes you'll see a team put 50, 60 shots on goal and lose. So Hastings will take having a 50% scoring percentage in the game right now. Wozniak, save percentage is at 500 for the game right now. So I think Hastings will take that.
Well, and I think, Waconia's had 2 good scoring chances. The Raiders have had 1, and they buried their 1, and that's just the difference in the game. A lot of the other shots have just been, odd angles or from the outside that Smelser's going to save. So
Strong goes circle to circle, far to near for Niederkorn. Tries to thread it between a couple of Wildcats for Kennedy, and back towards McGraw on the near side. That third line, Mommer, Kennedy, McGraw on the ice right now for the Raiders as we hit 1 minute to go here in the first period, and Hastings with a 1-0 lead over the Waconia Wildcats. Waconia sets up in their defensive zone, makes an ankle-breaking play. A Raider actually falls down as a result, and then the puck goes on a line drive into the Waconia bench. 42.5 seconds to go here. Again, there is action out at United Heroes League tonight as well with Hockey Day Minnesota, which Hastings will be hosting on Saturday. Breck and St. Paul Academy facing off there tonight. There were a couple of games there last night as well. Lakeville North tied Chanhassen 5-5 in a very wild game. And then Alexandria beat, I believe it was Grand Rapids, 4-1 out there on Monday night.
Yeah, a lot of really good matchups out there with a lot of top teams here in state. Looks like there's a conversation over at the Raiders bench, and that's why there's a stoppage in play.
The fact you got Rogers and Wyzetta to come out here says a lot about how big of an event this is for the city of Hastings. 35 seconds to go in the first period, and Waconia tries to do a centering pass, but it's deflected off the glass. Sent high. Brecken Fullerton had it on his stick for a moment and lost it, and nearly turned over by the Raiders. Smelser actually had it on his stick. I'm not sure that was what was intended. Now Niederkorn gets it out for Kraut with 15 seconds. Raiders can't get it out of their zone, but Niederkorn will get to it first in the corner. It'll go behind the Hastings net back to Finn Zaruba. Zaruba tied up in the corner with 4, and they might just let the clock run out right there. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We've reached the end of the first period here at Hastings Civic Arena. The Raiders lead 1-0 over the Waconia Wildcats. And for those on HCTV, we're going to take a look at the goals here, and it's just the one. It's the Jonas Schauer goal from Carter Hansen.
Yeah, just driving hard straight to the net, and was rewarded with that goal. Just had to tap it in, and the Raiders lead 1-0 despite only having 2 shots in that first period.
Well, like we said, we'll take it. 1-0 Hastings after 1.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play.
It's moving!
It's over!
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
Gone! Touchdown, Raiders!
for the class of 1990.
We went from Mom Pie Eagles to Alan Peck.
I know you're all excited about Y2K. You could lose power or party like it's 1999.
Hastings High School has been graduating center since the first commencement of the 8th. Congratulations, class of 2023. Go Raiders!
Funding for community TV is in rapid decline, and HCTV will not survive without your help. Let your local representatives know that you support community TV. To learn more, visit savecommunitytv.com.
the ice here. Get ready for the second period here in a few minutes.
Yep, they will switch sides for period number 2. Waconia will tack right to left on, I believe, both radio and TV. And Hastings will attack left to right. And taking a look at those Metro East Conference standings, of course, St. Thomas, Hill Murray, and Matamidi will be the 3 most likely contending for the conference title. But Hastings is right there, 5-2. They're 4th in the conference. Two Rivers having a down year. South St. Paul improving. Simley having a down year, and Tartan having a little bit of a down year as well. So Hastings sits 4th in the Metro East Conference standings right now. For the Metro West, Waconia is 5th. We talked about how they have the win over New Prague. That's New Prague's only conference loss. Bloomington Jefferson started 11-0 and has gone 1-4-1 since. They are 2-2 in the Metro West. And then, of course, you got Orono, Chaska, Benilde, and St. Louis Park. Chanhassen, who was out at United Heroes League last night, the 5-5 tie with Lakeville North. They are atop the Metro West Conference standings right now. So 2 very tough conferences. You look at that Metro West, you see Benilde, St. Margaret's, Chanhassen, likely year after year, it's those 2 competing. Orono is probably in that picture as well. Metro East, it's unfortunately for Hastings, it's almost always St. Thomas, Hill Murray, or Matamidi. That's just, as Bruce Almighty said, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
That's right. It's always seems to be an uphill battle in a few different sports, although, you know, you had some private schools there. And Matamidi may be a small town, but that's, you know, tucked in between a lot of big cities there. So
yeah, right there with Stillwater and White Bear Lake and North St. Paul.
Yeah.
We're ready to go for period number 2. It'll be Finn Zaruba to take the face-off with Connor Reek to start this second period. Again, Raiders just 2 shots on goal in the first, but they lead the game 1-0. Smelser, I think he might have a new stick here to start the second period as well. That's a pretty shiny stick he's got, as Waconia sets up at the point with Stifter. And Stifter has that one deflected into the corner, looking for Niederkorn. And McCoy Archambault has the puck on his stick for just a moment, and now Stifter goes tape to tape, fires one towards Smelser from McGuire Canor, and the save is made by Smelser. That, yeah, like I think that might very well be a brand new stick for Nick Smelser. We'll have to check on that.
Either that or he waxed that thing up or something, because we can see the shine from way up here of it.
You might be able to see that one from South St. Paul.
Another shot there from Waconia, but out there, way out there by the blue line. That's when Nick's going to save 99% of the time. So
yeah, I think if you look at grade A chances, it's very minimal for both teams so far in this game as this puck goes up into the netting. Of course, the one grade A that Hastings had, they scored on. Waconia's only had, I think, 1 or 2 as well here.
Yeah, and when I think back to Waconia's chances, it's been 2 deflections that he saw. Nick made a nice save on both of those. Haven't seen anything really in tight getting shots away for them.
Hansen will win the faceoff, but it ends up on the stick of a Wildcat. And now the Raiders trying to get it out. Jonas Schauer, Niederkorn lays a big hit, and Woodwick is able to swipe the puck away for a moment. Now it rings off the glass, into the corner, around behind, and Woodwick has the puck. Carried up the ice at the blue line, turned away by Waconia. Here's Brendan Clemens, too far on a pass, it's Niederkorn. The official is right there as the puck is going to bounce off of the ads at the blue line. Waconia has it just to the right of Smelser's net. They put one on, it hits the post. Second post they've hit today. And now Niederkorn to Woodwick. Woodwick just behind Savage. Savage lets Carter Hansen get through at the circle. Hansen with a toe drag shot that's deflected. And now here come the Wildcats again. Too far on the stretch pass. Herman hit into the glass in front of the penalty box. Onto the stick of Carter Hansen, who tries to weave it between the legs of Waconia's number 10, Nicholas Gleason, but the Wildcats aren't fooled. Puck into the corner here on the near side. Herman lays a big hit. He has a sizable height advantage over Michael Kennedy over there in the corner.
Just kind of was leaning over the top of Michael there.
2 minutes gone in the second period. 1-0. Hastings leads Waconia. Now behind the net for the Wildcats, it's Samson Engier. Now they'll go tape to tape near side. Chase Lorenzen with a shot, and Smelzer able to make the save for Hastings. Wildcats have it. Centering pass shot, and they score. Nicholas Gleason off a turnover goes top shelf on Nicholas Smelzer, and it is 1-1 with 14:32 to go here in the second period. And that one looked like that one was all started by an unfortunate turnover by Hastings.
Yeah, and it came out front there and just sitting right in front of the circles, or in between the circles, and not much Smelzer could do there. He was already down, trying to protect against that puck that was on the side of the net.
Actually looked more like it was just a good pass from behind the net rather than a turnover. But it is 1-1. Scoreboard still says 1-0, but it is 1-1, and they're announcing the goal. Gleason gets the goal. Ankier gets the assist. And Cooper Visinovich gets the assist as well.
Yeah, Waconia's had 2 of their best chances of the whole game here in the first few minutes of the second period. So interested to see if the Raiders can change this up here.
It is 1-1. Scoreboard here at Hastings Civic Arena still read. There they go. Just changed it. It is 1-1. Puck in the corner now as the momentum is on the Wildcats side. They're the ones roaring here early on in the second period. Onto the stick of Kyler Cox. Cox back to the point to Knorr. Knorr has it turned over, leads to a 2-on-2, but Ryland Kraut blows a tire as he tries to bring it up ice with the 2-on-2. Smelzer comes out of his net to play it. Fullerton off the glass on the near side, and too far on the pass from Zaruba to Michael Kennedy. And talking with the coaches, I think back to earlier in the year when they had that 2-on-1 empty netter, and Zaruba missed the empty netter, and Michael Kennedy ends up scoring the goal, and that was Kennedy's first varsity goal. Talked to the coaches after that one, and they said, they're really good friends. So they kind of turned that into a, it was a pass.
Right.
Kind of like the, remember back to the NC State Houston National Championship of basketball, the dunk that they call a pass that was actually a missed shot that turned into a dunk. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it was a, was that 1983?
83, yep.
Gosh, time flies. Looks like Smelzer's got an equipment issue here, so there's a quick timeout for him to fix his mask. Yeah, Raiders still stuck at 2 shots here, Trey.
Yeah, 11-2, the shots on goal. And a shot off the face-off from the far point is gloved by Smelzer. For those watching on HCTV, I know tomorrow night you're going to get something really cool. We'll be out there too on KDWA. We'll be getting some coverage of that. But HCTV will be broadcasting it live. The first time in 15 years that the Dakota United adapted sports teams are playing a home game at Hastings High School. We'll have more on that in just a moment, as this is going to stay in the offensive zone. Around behind towards Niederkorn. Niederkorn tries to get it up for Schauer. It's turned over instead, and they just try to push it into the crease. But Waconia sees it go behind the Hastings net. Now Niederkorn sets back up for Savage. Savage over to Schauer. Schauer looking for Hansen. Hansen in front, but the Wildcats get a stick on it and keep it out. And the Raiders still stuck on 2 shots. Isaiah Stifter brings it in off sides, and that will be the stoppage with 12:37 to go.
Like
actually going to be a penalty
slash,
here. Yeah. This looks like it's going to be Jonas Schauer. Mentioned it a couple times this year on our broadcast. Raiders do a pretty good job of staying out of the box in most games. Only a few games this year where they've gone more than a couple times. This is the second penalty of the night for Hastings. But just to finish that point, tomorrow night, Hastings High School, 6 o'clock, the Dakota United Hawks adapted sports teams playing floor hockey at the Fieldhouse. Free admission for everybody. Actually, 2 Raiders going to the box. So Alex McGraw is going as well. So it's 2 minutes for slashing for Schauer and a 10-minute misconduct. So McGraw will serve the slash, for Shower, who is now gone for the majority of the rest of this second period.
And that's a big loss, and we're going to have to see how they mix up these lines here as well.
Puck floated up, and now Waconia will be on the power play. I mentioned the Raider penalty kill approaching 80%. They are already 1 for 1 tonight. In the corner, setting back up now at the point for Kenor. Kenor, centering pass, shot just goes behind the net. Under 12 minutes to go now here in the second. Setting up at the point, fanning on the shot was Clemens. And then the shot's too far for Waconia. Hastings trying to get it out, but Clemens able to keep it in for the Wildcats. Smelzer comes out of his net to get it and just fires this one down. And will chase after it with Savage. It's nearly turned over. Hansen able to keep it in the offensive zone for Hastings, and Will Savage shadowing McGuire Kenor in the corner.
Hastings
turned over almost. Savage got a stick on it.
Hastings have been using their top line to kill penalties, not afraid to have those top guys out there defensively, and doing a nice job keeping that puck down in the Waconia end here.
Savage has it behind the Waconia net. He's got Kennedy in front, but Kennedy can't get a shot away. Here come the Wildcats again with Kyler Cox. Cox sends it around behind over to Woodwick. In the corner, Woodwick fires this one down the ice, and that is going to be a penalty on Waconia. So the Wildcats, too many men on the ice, I believe I heard the official say. And that is the second time tonight that one team's power play has ended prematurely because the other team is undisciplined.
Yeah, Waconia again shortening their own power play by 14 seconds. Raiders get an offensive zone face-off here 4-on-4. And maybe have a little more ice out here. Zaruba's out with Fullerton.
And they can basically start their power play now.
Yeah, just got to win that face-off.
They'll have about 1 minute and 46 of power play time, and we have a stoppage as the puck rolls to Wozniak, who hasn't seen a whole lot tonight. He's gotten that save percentage up to 66, though, because they've only faced 3 shots. It sounds terrible, but, you know, he's only seen the 3 shots.
Yeah, I mean, and the one shot that went in, he didn't have much of a chance on. It was point-blank range.
So now the Raiders will be on the power play, and they will retreat back to their defensive zone. Carter Strong has it as we're back to full strength. Alex McGraw comes out of the box after serving the penalty for Shower, who will stay in till the 2.5-minute mark of the first period. He's got another 8 minutes to serve of that misconduct penalty. Back to Niederkorn now. At the point for Zaruba. Zaruba feeds it for Kraut. Kraut between the circles, can't get a shot away. Carter Strong gets it back at the blue line at the far point. Now in the slot with Kraut. Kraut to the circle to Zaruba. Zaruba back to Kraut at the point. Kraut for Niederkorn. Back to Zaruba at the point. Backhands it over to Zaruba. Midpoint now to Niederkorn. Fires a shot. Wozniak bobbles it initially and then covers. And then they've got to separate a couple players.
Nice job there. Well, Strong kept that puck in the offensive zone, and then Niederkorn took a shot there as 2 Raiders are crossing in front, trying to get a screen or a tip there on Wozniak.
So 9:58 to go in the second. Still 1-1 now. Raiders with 2 shots on this power play. Neither one of them really dangerous. Zaruba, Niederkorn able to keep it in as Waconia tried to clear. Now Niederkorn behind through the stick of Kennedy. Now Zaruba has it again on his stick, trying to find Carter Strong at the point. Instead, it's Brecken Fullerton who comes out with it. Fullerton at the edge of the blue line, looking for Zaruba, who fans on the one-timer. Now Fullerton setting it up at the point for Niederkorn, and Niederkorn's shot is deflected. That's going to lead to a 2-on-1 shorthanded for Waconia. They move in, they take a shot. Smelzer makes the save.
Follow the play over and a nice sliding save across the net there for Smelzer.
The 2-on-1 shorthanded save by Smelzer. Now a 2-on-2 for Hastings. Zaruba can't get a shot away, and Waconia sends it back to neutral ice. 12 seconds left on the penalty. Blake Weber off the boards on the near side for his fellow defenseman Carter Strong. Puck goes into the corner now, and we have a expired penalty for the too many men. So Hastings comes up not on the power play.
But they did get some ice time there down in the offensive zone, put some pressure on Waconia, and kind of hopefully tipped the scales a little bit here.
Yeah, they did. It's been minimal tonight, the power play and offensive zone time for Hastings. But you see with 8:38 to go in the second period, the stoppage there. There's the shots on goal total of 12-4. Hansen will take the face-off for Hastings. Fan on the shot. Isaac Myers is into the game. He played second period on Saturday against Tartan as well. He does have a varsity goal this year, but he's a majority a JV player, but good to see him get some varsity time.
Yeah, good, really a strong skater, fast skater, and
whoa,
that one shot right in
shot
the
from the circle, hits a Waconia defenseman. The goalie didn't know where it was. Neither did the defenseman, but it stays out. And Waconia, sorry to interrupt you there, Derek, nearly gets the puck out.
Well, no, by all means. Yeah, I was just going to say, just another one of really good kids. It's an easy kid to root for, so it's nice to see him out here in the second period.
Under 8 to play here in the second. 1-1 your score. And now, here comes Archambault. His shot's deflected by Smelzer. It stays out. Kyler Cox off the boards to the half wall. Now back to the point for Chase Lorenzen. Behind the Hastings net it comes with 7:32 to go. Big hit! Gloves and sticks go flying. Jack Woodwick is unfortunately going to be dinged for a penalty as a result. But a huge hit by Jack Woodwick. And now Stifter with a shot. That stopped. Reek now setting up at the point as Waconia's gone 6-on-5 and they score as a result. So the penalty will be denied and removed, and the 6-on-5 goal by the defenseman Maguire Canor makes it 2-1 Waconia. It was going to be Woodwick going to the box. Waconia pulled the goalie Wozniak, and Canor capitalizes.
I don't think it got deflected there. They're going out to celebrate with their defenseman, but either rate, Waconia at the 2-1 lead.
Hastings has, I would say, second period has not been their best period this year, and we're seeing that a little bit again here tonight. They've typically been a third period team.
Yeah, and here at penalties have been the issue here with you take one of your best players off the ice for 12 minutes, or I think it's 12 minutes for Jonas, and then penalty was going to be called there, and they had it in the zone long enough to pull the goalie and get that extra man.
Yeah, that was well done by Waconia, and Jonas Schauer is still in the box for another 4.5 minutes. He does not get to come out until the 2.5-minute mark of the second period, that 10-minute misconduct that he is serving. It would have been a big penalty. I kind of wonder if Woodwick would have gotten more than 2 there, but nonetheless, Raiders might have caught a break with that, but Waconia does take a 2-1 lead as a result.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would have got 5, but it was a yard sale over there.
There's another shot by Waconia. Smelzer's got to come out of the net. Joey Leonard catches it out of the air. It's all coming up Waconia right now. Brecken Fullerton leads a 3-on-2 though. Here comes Zaruba moving in, fans on the shot. Zaruba tied up behind the net. Fullerton racing after it with Stifter. And now Waconia, 2-on-2, carries it into the offensive zone. That's denied by the Raiders onto the stick of Michael Kennedy. Kennedy pushes the puck up behind Brecken Fullerton with 6.5 to go.
Seems like whenever the Raiders get any sort of chance, there's 2 guys back for Waconia just snuffing out any opportunity.
Shots fired high, 6:19 left. We'll go around behind. Niederkorn has it behind the Hastings net here. And Waconia tries to send one, but Kennedy gets to it for Hastings. He's got it back off a pass from Zaruba, and down it goes Kennedy, and I believe the Raiders will go to the power play, as this will be likely a trip on Waconia's number 10, Nicholas Gleason, who got their first goal of the game tonight.
Yeah, and with this period, 2 goals for Waconia, here's a chance for the Raiders to get even.
Yep, that's a trip. Kennedy taken down right in the neutral zone.
Yeah, right, a stick right across his knees there.
That's gotta hurt.
Sure it didn't feel well.
Probably not. 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Raiders are on the power play now. And remember, one of your biggest power play players is in the box. Jonas Schauer unavailable for this power play. So you've got Drew Mommer out there with Michael Kennedy, Carter Hansen, and Will Savage and Blake Weber. Hansen back to Weber. Weber back to Savage now in the corner. Savage at the hash marks. Savage loses the sight of the puck, and Waconia is able to clear. That comes with 5:28 to go here in the period.
Already down to a minute and 15 seconds here on the power play for the Raiders.
Mommer touches it for a moment. Now Weber dumps it in, looking for Savage in the corner with 5:12 to go. 1:05 left on the power play. Kennedy gets it towards Hansen. Hansen with a shot, and Wozniak able to make the save. The shot through traffic from the midpoint by Hansen, but Wozniak stands tall, or rather kneels tall to, can't really do that, but stands tall to make that save.
Drew Mommer was there in case there was any sort of rebound, but Wozniak was able to grab that one. 1 minute even here on the power play for the Raiders.
Just gonna say, we're halfway through the penalty. Raiders with an extra attacker for 60 seconds longer. And Waconia, oh my, sends that one way out of play. They gotta be careful to get a dog pog there.
Everybody went ducking over there in the penalty box.
I've had somebody ask me before, what is dog pog? Delay of game, puck over glass. But I've heard people call it dog pog. So, no delay of game penalty though there for Waconia. And I think that was more inadvertent than anything.
You know, Trey, this is the 21st year in a row I've had a son in Hastings hockey, and I've never heard that before.
Really?
So you got one over on me there.
Maybe it's just the Carolina Hurricanes beat writer that calls it that. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Puck around behind the net. Stifter has it. Back turned over to Zaruba. Zaruba sets up for Strong at the point. Back to Niederkorn for Zaruba now. And Fullerton sets up in the corner. Fullerton tied up there in the corner, and the Raiders may see this power play expire. No, Fullerton gets it out. Nice job setting up a shot by Niederkorn, and Wozniak makes the save, but good on Brecken Fullerton to get that out and give Hastings another opportunity when it looked the power play was going to end.
Yeah, they won the battle there, and then Niederkorn, he came down, got that shot off from inside the circle. I'm sure he didn't want to shoot it right where he did, right in that stomach of the goaltender, but that was a really good opportunity there for the Raiders.
So the power play ends on the face-off. Raiders try to catch it at center ice, but no dice. And then a big hit head first into the boards, and you can't do that, as Isaac Myers takes a big hit right in front of the Waconia bench, head first into the boards. And now Waconia's number 6, Cooper Vasinovich, will go right back to the box, and Hastings will go right back to the power play.
Building some momentum up here, and see if the Raiders can find a way to get this tying goal on this power play. They had a really nice chance a minute ago. Isaac got hit from the side, I think, but right into the boards.
Rylan Kraut to take the face-off here for Hastings. Kraut getting a goal on Saturday. 4 different Raiders scored in that win over Tartan on Saturday. Niederkorn back to Strong now. Setting up at the point for Niederkorn, and now Strong at the half wall. Out of the hash marks. Now back to the point. It comes to Niederkorn. Zaruba back to Niederkorn. Takes a shot. It hits the post. You could hear it from up here. And the puck stays in the offensive zone on the stick of Niederkorn. And then it's taken out by Stifter for Waconia. Devin Stifter speeding in shorthanded. Shot just sent wide of Smelzer's net, but all the Raiders are back on defense, so the puck sits in neutral ice. Niederkorn onto the stick of Kraut, now over to Brecken Fullerton. And Carter Strong does enough to keep Waconia from clearing it. And the Raiders have it in neutral ice, and Finn Zaruba. Now it's Carter Strong with it at the red line. Strong, forehand, backhand, trying to keep the puck in. He's got it back to Brecken Fullerton. Fullerton around behind the net. Fullerton loses it now in the corner. Stifter hit by Kraut. Fullerton there as well. 52 seconds left on the power play. Waconia leading 2-1 with 2:40 to go here in the second period. Puck is lodged up against the corner. Zaruba gets it out. Now Niederkorn back to Kraut. Kraut moving in, centering pass for Fullerton just behind. Now Strong to Fullerton. Fullerton sets up to Niederkorn at the point. Niederkorn with a shot just wide. There was a brief opening to the near side of the net. Kraut had it on his skates, has it back. Kraut hit into the boards. Zaruba is there, the puck is tied up again. Raiders can't get it out, now they do. And that one is just past the stick of Maxwell Kelly. 2 minutes to go. 5 seconds left on the power play, and Raiders are going to come up empty again. Here's McGraw as we go back to full strength hockey. McGraw with a shot looking for Myers. And that one is just briefly turned aside. Now Knorr, who has the second goal for Waconia tonight. Mommer keeps it in the offensive zone for McGraw behind the net. McGraw back to Mommer, through the legs of a Raider, and the race is on. Vasinovich out of the box, tries to get to it, and makes contact with Smelzer in the process. Smelzer able to get back to his net. Now Weber up for Kennedy, or for McGraw rather. Here's Mommer. Mommer can't get a stick on it, and it goes behind the net. Turn back over to Mommer. Mommer has to sprawl. It's McGraw. Might have got away with a high stick there as he played it high, but no shot on net.
I think Waconia played it right away, so there's no high sticking.
1 minute remaining in the second period. Weber just flings one on net from the red line. Wozniak comes up with the stop. And now it's going to be Will Savage at the red line. Savage gets it into Carter Hansen. Schauer is still in the box, by the way. I thought that was a 10-minute misconduct and that he would have had to come back in, but it might be the whole period.
Well, and I think it's 12 minutes, I think, because he had the 2-minute.
Because of the penalty, too. But McGraw served the penalty.
Yeah.
So
he's coming out right now.
So Schauer comes out. I think it's the next stoppage.
Yeah.
It's probably what it is.
So he was probably in there longer because there was
a
stoppage.
So it was a 10-minute, but because the game went on for a little bit longer, he comes back into the game now with 31 seconds to go. But they will have him back now for the third period, and they'll need him, because he's the team's leading goal scorer with 9.
And he'll be plenty rested.
Yeah. Strong around behind the net, looking, and just a bit too far. Would have had Carter Hansen on the breakaway. Instead, they call an icing. And Carter Hansen can't believe it. I tend to stay pretty neutral. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and they're talking at center ice here, so let's see if we have a center ice face-off possibly.
Nope.
No.
They're going to bring this one down to the Raider defensive zone, and a couple of Raiders still want an explanation. I'm not sure about that one, but it is what it is.
And 21.8 seconds left here in the period.
Now they will say to Carter Hansen, no, and they'll put Michael Kennedy in the face-off dot, and now we've got whistles again.
And the Raiders got tossed from the face-off, but I don't understand why Waconia's number 9's been inside the circle the whole time, and the Raiders are the ones that got thrown out of the face-off.
Waconia won the face-off, put a shot on net. Smelzer was able to come up with a pretty easy save, and now with 8 seconds to go in the period, Carter Hansen trying to do it himself. Tries to go forehand, backhand, but over skates. And this one will just go back into the defensive zone, and that will be period number 2. So Waconia gets on the board not once, but twice in that period. We are through 2, It is Waconia 2, Hastings 1 at Hastings Civic Arena. And we'll take a look at the goals here, and Derek, walk us through these.
Yeah, and you know, they came to the side of the net on that one, and as you said, just a little push pass out front, and nothing Smelzer could do there. Waconia tied it at 1. And then this one from out in the blue line, I couldn't tell if they got a deflection there or not, or if they just got in Nick's eyesight there, but either way, it's a 2-1 game. HCTV is sponsored by the Schoolhouse. From prom to weddings, let us suit you your formal wear needs. Go see the Schoolhouse downtown in Hastings or at theschoolhouse.com. And it'll be a time for a quick break here. Again, Waconia leading 2-1 after 2 periods.
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
Today, 4 Minnesotans lost their lives from fentanyl poisoning.
And 4 more will tomorrow.
Fentanyl is the #1 killer of 18 to 45-year-olds.
It's killing more and more 12 to 17-year-olds. They're people we care about.
Like my brother.
My sister.
My best friend.
We have the power to make a difference in our community. Join us in the fight against the fentanyl crisis.
Who are we? We are artists. We are entertainers. We are storytellers. We are teachers. We keep you informed. We follow the action. Who are we? We are Hastings Community TV.
temperature, that's where they make that decision. So we should be fine for Saturday.
Yeah.
That's an MSHSL thing. The AHL, I imagine they will, for those joining us on TV, we're talking about the weather forecast for Hockey Day Minnesota this weekend. And, you know, Friday night looks a little bit, not a little bit, looks a lot chilly. But there's the schedule for Saturday. Park and Hastings girls, I think that's going to be, in my opinion, the best game of the day at 9:30 on Saturday morning. Eastridge and Hastings should be a thoroughly entertaining matchup as well at 1 p.m. And then Rockridge, who's having a little bit of a tough year, comes down to take on St. Thomas Academy at 4:30 on Saturday afternoon out there at United Heroes League. We were just mentioning it, it's going to be cold.
Yep.
Temperatures will be in the extremely low single digits, 0, 1, maybe even fall a little below 0. So bundle up. That will for sure be out there at United Heroes League, no question about that, on Saturday. It'll be above the Minnesota State High School League threshold for weather-related, cold weather-related issues there. But what we were talking about on the radio side is, you know, with the wind chill and the -20 to -25 that we could get on Friday night, I don't know what the AHL is going to do about that. We'll see.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody knows anything about what the weather rules are for the AHL, or.
I mean, they'll play the game.
No, yeah.
The question is if it takes place Friday, or if it takes place Sunday or Monday. You know, they'll play it nonetheless out there because, you know, they've worked really hard, and we're really excited. They had the game out there 2 weeks ago, but we're really excited to get out there Saturday for Hockey Day Minnesota, and, you know, expecting 80 to 100,000 people to come to Hastings all week here. I was in downtown Hastings last Saturday, this past weekend, right before the Rochester Century Mayo game, and there were a ton of people from Rochester in downtown Hastings. So a lot of people from outside of Hastings enjoying our community already, and looking forward to them enjoying the rest of this week. I know our friends from Cottage Grove coming over tomorrow night for the Park Boys game against White Bear Lake. War Road, basically all the War Road's going to be here tomorrow night against Edina as well. So you know, it's going to be cool, and it's a lot of fun to have people come out here maybe that have never even been to Hastings. Probably people from Ward have never been to Hastings before, I would imagine.
Right.
So you know, and White Bear Lake, and of course Rockridge. That's Virginia and Eveleth and that area that are going to be down here on Saturday with that game with St. Thomas Academy. That's going to be a lot of fun Saturday. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and you get some historic teams like War Road and Edina down here. Who wouldn't want to go watch that game?
Absolutely. Well, we are underway in the third. Hastings needs a couple goals here. It's a 2-1 Waconia lead as the Wildcats out shooting Hastings 16-8. And Rylan Kraut goes after the puck in the corner, blows a tire, and here comes the Waconia Wildcats back to work again. They take a centering pass that goes high up into the netting.
Good stick there by Niederkorn. He kept his distance between himself and the shooter. A couple feet, were able to reach that stick out and deflect it up over the net.
And Hastings comes in 9-7. Waconia comes in 8-6-2 on the season. And again, they toss. Seems like every game, and it's only Hastings that it happens to. They get tossed out of the faceoff circle.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Again, unless it's something being said or something else as far as their positioning, it don't look wrong at all.
They try to spring Rylan Kraut, but it's too far for him. Stuffed her back at the half wall now for Waconia. They'll set up behind their net. Oh, nearly turned over. Finn Zaruba nearly got there. Kind of turned into a linebacker there for a second and tried to force the fumble.
That kid was a heck of a football player when he was younger. He still could be a pretty good football player if he wanted to be.
Setting up at the point for Waconia, and a shot fired by McGuire Canor. But the Raiders have it behind their net with Jack Woodwick, who gets it over to Luke Niederkorn, and now Niederkorn tries to float it up, but it's too far. Turn back over to Canor. Puck goes into the corner on the near side. Niederkorn fans on a pass attempt, and it's still in the corner. Back to Woodwick now. Woodwick over to Savage, and back to the stick of Woodwick. Waconia gets it back into the offensive zone. Penalty coming up against Savage as he knocks down Kyler Cox, and the worst place to commit a penalty is right in front of the official, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he went back there and looked like he dunked him, so Raiders will be shorthanded here, 15:32 left in the third period.
One thing I want to point out, over the years, Jake and John Harris are gone, but they were specialties at this, and one thing that Matt Klein teams have been good at is shorthanded goals. And Jake Harris and John Harris were two guys that were really, really good at that, but Matt Klein teams have a history of that. So we'll see if Raiders can get one here shorthanded. As the puck is deflected and stopped by Smelzer. He was briefly out of his crease, but he's able to get back in time. Now Waconia sets up on the power play again. It's Herman from the point. Shot stopped by Smelzer, but they can't clear. And now Stifter's got it back for Waconia. Stifter deflected by Zaruba. He's got some speed. Zaruba gets it into the offensive zone, but Stifter's able to get back. Zaruba's the fastest player on the ice most nights.
Yes, he is, and I was going to say to your point, he's up on the top of this penalty kill. If he gets any chance to go, he's going to take that puck.
Floated off the top of the glass by the Wildcats. It stays in. Big hit there by Blake Weber. 14:40 to go, third period. Waconia leading 2-1. Raiders need 1 to tie, 2 to win it. Big hit by Luke Niederkorn as Waconia tried to dump the puck in on the power play. And we've got, I believe, did it happen again?
Again, another too many men, yes.
Waconia, every time it seems like one team has had a power play tonight, the other team commits one. And now Waconia, for the second time tonight, with too many men on the ice, will maybe go to the box here. Yep, they will. They're going to send Kyler Cox, the sophomore, to serve it. And there goes the power play, so Hastings will have an abbreviated 1 minute and 7 seconds once Savage is out of the box.
And then you'll have your first line power play out there if the forwards stay out there right now.
So we're 4-on-4. It's Carter Strong from the point, but Wozniak able to come up with the stop.
Well, shot from distance, nobody in front of the net, but when you only have 8 shots on the night, why not just try to fire one in there and see what happens?
Zaruba, and now we finally see the other team get kicked out of the face-off circle. It's about time. It's been happening to Hastings all year, and I can never understand why it's only them.
Yeah.
But now they do kick a Waconia player out of the face-off dot. Here go the Wildcats, though. Nice job by Carter Strong to get back defensively, but the puck is a hand pass. So we'll stop things again here with 14:13 to go. At the dot on the far side, Zaruba.
Same forward staying out there, Trace, so we'll see if they're going to be able to stay out there for the power play. Here comes Zaruba down the ice.
Zaruba speeds in 2-on-2 with Fullerton, tries to go forehand, backhand, but Brendan Clemens is able to get a stick on it and negate the shot chance for Finn Zaruba. Speeding in with 13:50 to go now are the Wildcats. Puck goes into the corner on the near side. That's where Woodwick gets it, and it gets it out for Brecken Fullerton. Fullerton back for Carter Strong, who gets it on sides. Backhands it over to Fullerton. Fullerton trying to speed in. Schauer has it at the circle. And Schauer, and the Raiders are now on the power play, by the way. Schauer speeds back at the hash marks. And briefly kept in, but now Waconia just dumps it. Smelzer will fling it around the boards. Back to the near side it comes to Carter Hansen. Savage fresh out of the box. Carries it across the blue line. Savage circles the wagons. Back to the circle he comes again. Savage dumps it back over to Kennedy. Kennedy sets up back to Savage. We have 38 seconds left on the abbreviated power play for Hastings. Savage back to the point for Hansen. Hansen dumps it in for Mommer. Mommer looking to backhand it over to Schauer. It's too far. Waconia tries to clear. Hansen catches it out of the air at center ice. Retreats back to his defensive zone. Now Will Savage looking for Carter Hansen. Hansen has it. Hansen carries it across the red, carries it across the blue, dumps it in, nowhere to go. We're down to 10 seconds on the power play. Savage fans on a shot, but it's turned over to Hansen. Hansen to Shower, who speeds in. Shower has a look, takes a shot.
Penalty coming
and
up.
And a penalty against Waconia coming up. So the Raiders will go right back to the power play with 12:18 to go. And that was the best sequence Hastings has had all game. And now they'll get 2 more minutes to run it.
Yeah, and again, back-to-back penalties on Waconia. Still just 9 shots in the game for the Raiders, but to your point, they had plenty of zone time there.
Devin Stifter is called for the infraction, and the Wildcats are right back in the box. And it feels like Hastings has been living on the power play here the last little while. Kraut off the face-off, has it back for Niederkorn. Niederkorn takes a shot from the midpoint. That's easily covered by Wozniak. I believe they said boarding was the penalty with 1:54 to go. Watching for Stifter, number 28. This is actually the shot that Wozniak stops.
Looks like Ryland tried to get a stick out there, but was unable to get a piece of that shot.
Waconia wins the faceoff. Clemens floats it up, strong. Oh boy, nearly gets it out, but then gets it back after Waconia couldn't complete the breakaway. Niederkorn sets up at the circle in the defensive end on the near side and goes cross ice to Carter Strong. Strong in neutral ice, just throws it back over to Niederkorn. Niederkorn will carry it across the blue line, and he takes a hit as the puck goes around the boards. Back to Finn Zaruba. Zaruba is tied up with a Wildcat. Fullerton is there as well, and Carter Strong's got it at the point. Strong back to Niederkorn. Niederkorn takes one from the point, and Wozniak stops it again. We're seeing why he's got a .932 save percentage. He is, most of the night tonight, other than that one shot earlier in the game, he's been really on it for Waconia.
Seems like he's squared to pretty much every puck, and Raiders trying to get somebody in front of him, either for a deflection or to get in his view, but unable to do so.
Still 11:30 to go here in the third. 1:09 left on the power play. Shower back to Hansen. Hansen takes a shot, had a look. Wozniak makes the save, and Waconia will clear. Smelzer comes out of his net to get it, and he just sends it around behind the boards. Back to Savage, and now over to Hansen. Still 50 seconds of power play time left for Hastings. Here's Carter Hansen up to Will Savage now. Forehand, backhand, over to Jonas Shower, just a bit too far, but Shower will get to it behind the net. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy back to Hansen at the point. Hansen gets tied up with Shower, and that's going to lead to Shower having to retreat to his defensive zone. Now Shower off the skate of Michael Kennedy. Kennedy just dumps it in and ices the puck with 10:42 to go, and that is going to create an offensive zone face-off for Waconia, shorthanded.
Yeah, it's been a rough night for the Raiders, and they're tried to pass the puck across the ice, and Mikey Kennedy would just happen to be right in the middle there. Hit his skate, he picked it up, threw it deep, but he was just a couple steps from the red line. And defensive zone face-off for the Raiders, 24 seconds remaining on the power play. And we're getting thrown out again.
And this time it's both of them. So Kraut will end up in the face-off circle now with Vasinovich. And then they say no to Vasinovich. And Connor Reek will take the face-off. And the face-off is won by the Raiders. Here goes Finn Zaruba. He may do this all by himself. Zaruba, forehand. Zaruba, backhand. Zaruba speeds in. He scores! Are you kidding me? Finn Zaruba! Wow!
Man, that kid can fly. Great move by Finn. Just decided to go all alone. Actually had the 2-on-1. So the goaltender had to honor that there could be a pass across the way, and
wow.
He just...
Finn Zaruba said, I'll just do this myself. Goes forehand, backhand through 4 Waconia Wildcats. And the Raiders have tied it at 2 with a power play goal with 10:33 to go. Finn Zaruba take a bow.
That was amazing. Took it all the way around the goaltender, tucked it in the far end, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I think it got hit after the play by Waconia.
That goal brought to you by Drew Bauer with Minnesota Realty Company. Give Drew a call for all your realty needs at 651-783-6585. Drew Bauer, former Raider hockey player. We're now tied at 2. Finn Zaruba with one of the best goals of the year for Hastings so far. And the Raiders are right back in this game. Smelser behind his net, out to Blake Weber. Weber fans on the shot. Kennedy trying to get it out. Waconia keeping it in the Raider zone. Now Woodwick changes direction with the puck. Woodwick gets it back now to Andrew McGraw. McGraw carries it in. McGraw moving in, taking a shot is Mommer, and Wozniak will make the save, and a penalty, I believe, is coming up.
Another great opportunity there for the Raiders. Drew the penalty. Nice pass over, and if not for the penalty, I think the Raiders might have had another goal.
Would have been Drew Mommer. I think it would have been his first of the year had he gotten this one. He was right there, but he got tripped, and that kind of changed the angle of the shot. So now the Raiders are on the power play again as Waconia can't stop paying rent in the penalty box. They basically are going to owe Hastings Civic Arena a month's rent at this point with as much as they've been in it.
We're not even halfway through the period. This third penalty on them in the third period.
Raiders got one on the power play moments ago from Finn Zaruba. And now Zaruba will try to do it again. Zaruba moving in. Puck is loose. It hits the side of the cage of Wozniak with 9:22 left. Kraut to Strong. Strong thought about it, but changes his tune. Back to Niederkorn here at the near side. Now Niederkorn with a shot from the point that's deflected. Kraut gets to it. Kraut off the boards for Finn Zaruba. Zaruba back to Niederkorn. Niederkorn now back to Zaruba at the half wall. Zaruba to Fullerton, now at the half wall again. It's Zaruba to the point to Niederkorn. Niederkorn with a point shot, and in an open net, Fullerton on the rebound, but Wozniak has to make a diving save.
Just didn't get all of it there on that rebound shot, but Wozniak able to slide there and just able to cover it up for a face-off. Raiders still have a minute 4 here. Looks like we're going to keep the same forwards out there.
8:53 left in regulation time, 1:04 left on the power play. Raiders in a 2-2 tie with the Waconia Wildcats here at Hastings Civic Arena. As Zaruba gets to it behind the net. Zaruba has it in the corner. Flips it back to Brecken Fullerton. Fullerton at the hash marks. Tries to side pass to Strong. And Strong able to get back to it in neutral ice. Now Zaruba moving in. Too far for Rylan Kraut. But Brecken Fullerton is there in the corner. Tied up with 8:30 to go. Oh, the Waconia fans call the penalty, and the officials are going to agree. And for about the umpteenth time tonight, a power play is canceled out. So we'll have 38 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Waconia will go to the power play as a dejected Rylan Kraut heads to the penalty box.
Yeah, Rylan just got him over the leg there as he's reaching for the puck. The way that the Raiders looked at it, they might have thought it was a little bit of an acting job there maybe, but at any rate, as you say, it'll be 4-on-4 for 38 seconds.
And then Waconia will have about a minute and 24 of power play time. Savage back to Woodwick now. We are 4-on-4 right now. Over to Joey Leonard, who has it on his stick. Leonard off the boards on the near side. 8:06 left. In this third period, we are squared at 2 squared.
Interesting night for Joe. He's not seen the ice much, but when he has, it's been on the penalty kill almost exclusively.
Waconia out of the box. They kind of just sat behind the net to let that penalty expire. And now they'll set up on the power play. Hansen back to Niederkorn. And Niederkorn just dumps it in. Stitzer chases after it in the corner. 7.5 to go in regulation time. Puck floated up and out of play and stopped there with 7:24 to go. 58 seconds of power play time left for the Waconia Wildcats in a little Metro East versus Metro West battle. This is the third Metro West team Hastings has faced this year. Bloomington Jefferson and New Prague the other two. They are 1-1 against the Metro West so far. One official comes over to have a conversation with Coach Klein. We'll have a face-off at the circle here, on the dot rather, on the near side. Raiders will get it dumped all the way back down. Stifter has it in the corner now for Waconia with 7:15 left. Shower hounds him, not letting Stifter get away. And Stifter has to retreat back to his corner again.
Yeah, nice job. That's a kill off 5-10 seconds there.
Now Waconia moves in, takes a shot, fires it just high. Setting up again on the power play, now it's Clemens. Clemens to Kelly. Kelly with a shot that stopped. Herman with a shot, but he angles it too far. Waconia keeps it in. Niederkorn plays safety here and makes a play on the puck. And it rolls all the way back down behind the Waconia net with 6:35 to go. Back up the ice it comes now. Moving in with it is the Wildcats. It's Herman. We're back to full strength hockey as Rylan Kraut comes out of the box. Kraut is immediately going to touch the puck now as Waconia tried to go for a wraparound chance. Weber takes a hit, and it's Niederkorn to the left of the net for Smelzer. Kraut to Zaruba, who just scored the phenomenal goal a few minutes ago, and now that leads to Rylan Kraut in all alone. Kraut's taken down, and that is going to be another penalty, I believe, on Waconia. Rylan Kraut, basically on a breakaway, had gotten behind the defense, tripped by Brendan Clemens, and the Raiders go right back to the power play.
Yeah, Rylan's one of those kids that is always going to outwork you, and he just goes straight to the net, gets a stick across the midsection, and draws the penalty.
That might not be a trip, that might be a hook. We'll see. Hooking is the call on Clemens as the puck is stuck in the boards. Mommer gets it out for Hastings. Mommer setting up behind the net. Jonas Schauer is back on the power play now. Here's Savage. Remember, Schauer missed a power play earlier. Here's a shot by Hansen from the point, and Wozniak makes the save.
Yep, just Wozniak's catching everything. Raiders right there again. Drew Mommer right there ready for a rebound. None to be had.
So 1:38 left in the power play. 5:37 left in regulation time. Here's Hansen off the faceoff. Hansen to Schauer. Schauer's shot is deflected and out of play.
That one may be up over into the parking lot pretty much. That thing went way up over. Down to a minute and a half the power play here. 5:29 left in the regulation.
We'll have another face-off coming up. Mommer will take the face-off for Hastings. It's going to come out to Carter Hansen. He nearly loses it at the blue line. He's got it back to Schauer, who comes back to the point. Midpoint Hansen at the circle. Savage back to Hansen there. Hansen with a shot. And that one bops its way into the netting with 5:17 to go.
Nice job there by Drew Mommer, winning that faceoff cleanly. And Raiders are then able to get a couple guys in front of the net, but the tip went up into the netting here with 5:17 remaining.
So now it'll be Michael Kennedy to take the faceoff for Hastings. Kennedy wins it again. Now it's going to be Hansen setting up at the point. Hansen shot deflected, but he gets it right back. Back to Jonas Schauer. 1:10 left on the penalty. Schauer avoids a breakaway, gets it back. Now we're stuck in the neutral zone. Turn back over to Vasinovich. Drew Mommer lays a hit, and we're playing neutral zone Palooza right now. Here's Hansen with it. He'll cross the blue line. He'll just throw it in around the boards. Back to Mommer. 4:45 left in regulation time. Tied at 2. Hansen waits. Hansen back now to Schauer. Schauer dinks and dunks his way towards the middle of the ice, but no dice. And now Kennedy back to Savage. Now going to be Hansen again, and this one kind of floats in the air for what felt like an eternity for Wozniak, but he's able to make the catch and stop it with 27 seconds left on the power play here. 4:26 left in the third, and the Zamboni bin appears to be foreshadowing with 4:26 left as they've opened the Zamboni door.
Tell you what we can do here. Raiders had a lot of zone time here, just not bad. Waconia's done a good job not giving them much, though.
Meter corner in neutral ice, taken away by Ryland Kraut, trying to find Brecken Fullerton, but it's turned over by Waconia. Back to Zaruba, who takes a shot. Oh boy, he got, oh no. Oh no.
He got Brecken Fullerton with the shot.
We got a puck in the face, and that one's gonna hurt.
Ref's over there talking to him right now, and
why don't we step aside for a moment while they tend to Brecken Fullerton, and we'll be right back.
And Brecken Fullerton has gotten loose. Skating on his own. Looks like Brecken's going to be okay, hopefully. See, Zaruba comes in, gets a shot, and it just gets right into Brecken.
Brecken Fullerton able to skate off the ice, but goes straight back down the tunnel, where I imagine he will be looked at by the athletic trainers. It took a puck way high underneath the helmet on the face, and those are never fun. So we hope the best for him there, but he was able to skate off the ice on his own, which was the most important thing. As Waconia puts one nonchalantly on net, and Smells are able to stop it with 1 second left. And those are kind of the things you know when you play hockey, you know, that unfortunately those happen sometimes. And that one certainly did not look good, but we're glad to see Brecken Fullerton up and skating, and he'll get looked at here. We hope for the best for sure.
Yeah, it's tough in front of that net sometimes. It's friendly fire, or you take one from the other team as well.
They try to feed Hansen on the breakaway, and Jonas Schauer actually picks off the pass that was picked off for Hansen. And now Schauer cannot get it to turn back up the ice, and here comes Waconia with Stifter. Stifter with 3:37 to go in regulation. The penalties have expired. And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. The shots have also pretty much evened up. It's now 19-16. Hastings out shooting Waconia 8-3 here in the third period, because they spent most of it on the power play.
Yeah, exactly.
Schauer has it turned over the other way. Here goes Waconia moving in at the circle, takes a shot, and a pad save by Smelzer. Then down goes a Wildcat in the corner.
Niederkorn has a couple nice hits there in the Raiders defensive zone.
Round behind, turned over. Jonas Schauer on a breakaway, takes a shot. Wozniak makes the save. Schauer basically had a breakaway there, and now we will have a whistle. And now we're going to have another, I believe, penalty. This one is going to go on the Raiders. So now Waconia will go to the power play with 2:52 left in the third. And this is not the spot you want to be in if you are Hastings. Nobody's gone to the box yet, but the penalty box door is open. Who's going? It's Ryland Kraut.
Not sure what Ryland did there. Just been away from the play. After that shot, there was some hitting in the corner with Schauer and the defenseman, but I didn't see any Kraut.
Raiders will just clear it off the face-off. So Kraut is serving. It might be too many. That's what I think they said, if I heard correctly.
Okay.
For Ryland Kraut there, serving the penalty. And now Waconia on the power play. Kyler Cox brings it in. Cox fans on the shot. Good job by Woodwick to get there, but Waconia keeps it alive with 2:27 left here in the third period. Back to Brendan Clemens. Clemens Back cross ice it comes. Shot by Kenor is stopped. Now Zaruba. Zaruba kept in by Waconia, cleared by Carter Hansen.
Hansen's got that big long reach. He's able to reach around there. Float it down.
2:06 left in regulation, 1:10 left on the power play, 2-2 the score. Clemens, around behind the net it comes to Cox. Cox back to Clemens off the boards. Back it comes again, Clemens. Clemens takes a shot deflected, which allows Jonas Schauer shorthanded to take it into the offensive zone. Schauer just tries to go forehand, backhand, but it goes behind a Waconia Wildcat. And now Connor Reek, he'll turn it over for a moment. Savage is there. Savage gets a stick on it. That allows Woodwick to get there at center ice. Woodwick just dumps it back in. We are down to 30 seconds left on the Waconia power play. Woodwick has it back. Woodwick will clear again with 25 seconds left on the power play. Wozniak comes out to get it. This one's flipped up. 1:10 remains in regulation time at Hastings Civic Arena. Off the skate of Carter Hansen as the Wildcats carry it back into the offensive zone. Stifter around behind the net. Zaruba is there with him. We're down to the final minute of regulation here. And Waconia sets up. Herman with a shot, but it's angled off target. Puck floats up in the air at the circle. Hansen is there, we're full strength. Zaruba sends this one back to center ice for Stifter. Kraut out of the box, makes a play on it, but Waconia has it, nearly turned back over to Niederkorn. Herman moves in, takes a shot, fires wide of the net. 32 seconds to go in regulation time here at Hastings Civic Arena. We're tied at 2 apiece. Carter Strong makes a play on the puck, but it's denied. Now another chance from Waconia. That sails wide with 20 seconds to go in regulation. Setting up at the point. Here's a shot loose in front. Smelzer makes the save and stops it with 14.7 seconds remaining.
Huge save there, obviously, late in the game, but also Waconia had a player sitting just off to his left side there. Boy, what a great penalty kill there by the Raiders right when they needed it. And
dare I say the best one of the year.
Yeah, 14.7 here to go.
Woodwick off the face-off for Niederkorn. Niederkorn trying to spring Carter Hansen late here in regulation. Hansen at the circle, centers one, and it's just sent wide. Woodwick puts one on net. It's loose in front at the horn, and we will go to overtime at Hastings Civic Arena as the Raiders can't put one on net at the end. But free hockey at Hastings Civic Arena. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back. Overtime coming up.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the layup? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God!
And reaching up and making the play.
It's over!
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One! Touchdown, Raiders!
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
welcome them back to Hastings Civic Arena. The Raiders and Waconia head to overtime, and we mentioned it so far on the year. Waconia's had 2 games end in a tie. Hastings has a big 0 there in the tie column and would like to keep it that way.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, they've won so many close games this year. I kind of like their chances here. Strong third period. A lot of power play time that helped that, but definitely the best period of the night for the Raiders here in the third period.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Remember at the break we said Hastings is a third period team, and you know they were down pretty substantially in shots. They closed it up. It's 20-18, so really the shots on goal haven't been a plethora of them, but Hastings did a nice job out shooting Waconia there 10-4 in the third period, to claw their way back into this one, tie it up at 2, and now we play an 8-minute sudden death overtime. If nobody scores in these 8 minutes, this thing ends in a tie. I believe this is the first overtime game period for Hastings this. No, they had the one in South St. Paul. South St. Paul Premier Tournament, which is the one that I didn't call that game, no, right. And they won in overtime just on the very, very first shot. We'll see if that happens again here. Sticked out of the air by Lucas Niederkorn, looking for Jonas Schauer. Schauer back now to Niederkorn. It comes back to Carter Strong. Strong off the glass with 7:35 left in overtime. And remember, it's next goal wins. If nobody scores, neither team wins. Those are the rules in the regular season. Tournaments and sectionals, it's a different rule, of course. Stifter moves in, hits the post with the shot. And Schauer speeding up 2-on-2. Schauer tries to take a shot, but Waconia gets there. That was about the end of the game right there. Devin Stifter hit the post square in the middle.
Second crossbar shot for him tonight, and I know the Raiders have hit 1 or 2 posts. I think that's 3 now for Waconia.
Boy, what a game tonight. I mean, like we said, the shots on goal haven't been a lot, but it's been the third period especially was a lot of fun up and down the ice. And now we've got ourselves 6:58 left to decide a winner in this one. Face-off won by the Raiders. Woodwick trying to find Kennedy, but it gets back towards the neutral zone. Have not seen Brecken Fullerton back in the game yet since he got hit in the face with a puck. Weber looking for Kennedy at the red line. It's kept into Woodwick, who turns into a forward. Woodwick plays it offsides.
Yeah, I don't see Fullerton on the bench either, so he's probably back in the locker room. We said earlier, if you didn't catch it, he didn't skate off on his own. So hopefully it's not too serious of an injury.
Face-off won by the Raiders. Fullerton tries to carry it in. He does. Get it behind the net to Ryland Kraut. Kraut around the boards looking for Zaruba. Zaruba and Kraut are there. Kraut gets it out. And back to Woodwick, who just fires it back into the offensive zone. Probably the only decision he could make there with 6:15 to go. Dumped back by Waconia. Here's Herman with the puck for the Wildcats, and it's turned over to Finn Zaruba, who moves in and then gets the puck taken away at the circle. But it deflects off a Ryland Kraut skate.
Yep, and out of play over the glass. But that's why you dump it in deep, right? You attack and try to get that turnover. Turnover at the blue line, but Finn was unable to get a shot off on it.
So 6:01 left in overtime. No shots on goal in this overtime so far.
Just off posts. So
yeah, posts don't count, unfortunately. Either stat sheet, they don't count. Off the face-off, Savage and Schauer. Schauer in the corner, back to Hansen. Hansen is tied up there, tries to get it out, but Waconia will get it out. They'll sneak it to the red line. They'll throw it in. Smelzer will come out to get it. Smelzer back to Niederkorn. Turn back over now to Stifter. Turned upfield. Here's Schauer up the ice, one-on-one. Schauer takes a shot. It's off the pad of Wozniak. And it gets stuck in the back of the net as Jonas Schauer basically had just one Waconia Wildcat flanking him. And this was about as good of a chance as you could get, but a great save by Wozniak.
Yeah, nice shot too, but just off the top of the pad it looked like there. First shot of the overtime period.
Now it's Waconia getting recompense in the face-off circle after I said something. Shower will win it for Hastings, and Carter Strong will find his fellow Carter Hansen in the corner. Hansen floats it up, gets it back after it was deflected. Back to Luke Niederkorn. Now Hansen again, looking for Shower. Shower for Savage at the circle. Savage tied up there. Hansen looking forward in the corner again for Hastings, and Stifter has it behind the net now for Waconia. 5:11 to go in overtime. Turn back over to Will Savage. Savage behind the Waconia net. Changes back here toward the near side. Savage flips it back for Jonas Shower, but it's behind him. Carter Hansen had it for a moment, and now it's turned back over to Waconia, who we hit under 5 minutes to go here in overtime. Brought back up the ice by Stifter. Shower has it on his stick, now turns it away. Here's Shower with Zaruba flanking. Shower thought about passing it to Zaruba, takes it himself. Shower around behind, finds Carter Strong at the point. Shot is deflected. Zaruba throws it back for Kennedy, too far. Now Kennedy tries to track it down, takes down a Wildcat. They're not going to call anything in overtime.
And Brecken Fullerton back on the ice, Trey.
How about that?
Good to see.
Fullerton is out there after taking a puck to the face, and he's going to get the puck on his stick on a turnover to bring Kennedy. It's too far for Kennedy again. Might have been tipped.
I think Michael just got a little bit of it, so there's no icing, but he was unable to control it.
Now Waconia moves in. 4:06 left in overtime. Zaruba behind the net. Is somebody going to win it, or is this going to end in a tie? We'll find out here. Puck goes into the corner with 3:56 left. Weber tied up there with Zaruba. It's loose. It's not loose. It's lodged, rather, behind the Hastings net, and the Raiders will get it out. It's Finn Zaruba, who had that magnificent goal earlier in the game. Back to 3:38 left. Here's Weber. Weber onto the stick of Fullerton. Fullerton up for Zaruba. It would have been offside, so he just throws it in with 3:25 left. Clemens has it behind his net. Too far for the Wildcats. They ice the puck with 3:19 to go here in overtime. Still only the one shot for Hastings, and that was the Jonas Shower breakaway shot.
The Raiders get the puck most of this period because they keep winning the faceoffs. And they'll get another opportunity here in the offensive zone. They can keep winning these faceoffs. Hopefully get a couple more good chances.
So 3:19 to go. Face-off won again by the Raiders. Shower had it for a second. And now Hansen nearly gets it back. But here comes Waconia's number 5, Isaiah Stifter. Moving in, shot, and a save made by Smelzer. Big save by Smelzer to keep the game tied. Another shot from the point by Waconia's stop. Off the side of the net now. And the net comes dislodged. They'll have to stop the action with 2:59 to go. Whew.
And Waconia was able to enter with speed and able to drop it back off and then over across the way for a shot. Smelzer able to stop it. Couldn't glove it down, but able to play it to the corner.
Hansen and Isaiah Stifter to take the face-off. Raiders will win it again. It's Carter Strong ringing around off the boards. Back towards the defensive zone it will come. Devin Stifter gets to it with Carter Hansen right there. 2:48 left in overtime. Tied at 2, of course, between Hastings and Waconia. Now here comes Carter Hansen. Hansen takes a shot. Shower with a rebound, and it's saved by Wozniak.
What a save.
Oh, my goodness.
Thought we had won it right there.
Turn back over. Shower has it for Niederkorn. Niederkorn hit into the boards. 2:25 to go in overtime. 2-2 Hastings and Waconia. The save of the night by Wozniak just moments ago. Now a nonchalant shot stopped by Smelzer. Here's another one. Shot, save made by Smelzer. Strong able to get it to Niederkorn, who gloves it away. Fullerton is there. Fullerton trying to get to it. And now it's turned over to Niederkorn. Niederkorn has it at center ice. Niederkorn moving in. Niederkorn setting up Zaruba with a shot. Wozniak's got a cover just outside the crease and stops it with 1:49 to go.
And if he didn't get that glove on it, Rylan Kraut was right there. What a save on Shower. I thought for sure he'd won it. And what a great save. Raiders had just another shot here, and as I say, they covered it up right before Rylan could get in there.
Wozniak has been good tonight for Waconia. That is for sure. Here's Fullerton. Fullerton taken down. No call. They're not going to call anything in overtime, as we said. Now Waconia tries to break out. There goes a Wildcat down, and again the officials let it slide. Rylan Kraut around behind the net. Can't get it out. Flipped up by Waconia. We are down to 1:22 left in overtime here. This one's trending towards staying as is unless somebody can find the back of the net. Mommer gets it out. Here's Finn Zaruba flipping it up for Brecken Fullerton, but it's turned over. Shot in front for Waconia is denied by Smelzer, and now they will call a penalty on Hastings. Waconia's going to go to the power play. They pull the goalie. The puck is loose. Smelzer makes the save. Players go toppling over each other, but Waconia's going to go to the power play with 56 seconds left in regulation, or in overtime rather. Just as I was saying, they were letting it slide. Not sure you can let that one slide.
Yeah, that was a little bit of, he took them into the boards there, but at the same time, then you really wish should have called that trip earlier in the overtime period. So
Waconia calls a timeout. Hastings girls basketball crushes South St. Paul tonight. 63-23, the final score in that one. I don't have a boys' final score yet. They were down to South St. Paul at the half, 34-32. Overtime timeout taken here by Waconia to talk about this one on the power play. If you're Hastings, do you perhaps, let me ask it this way, what strategy are you coming up with if you're Coach Klein?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because of, playoff implications. I mean, I think he just played it straight up, and probably best case scenario is probably a tie at this point. If you're 4-on-5 and you got Zaruba up top or Savage, maybe somebody can steal a puck and go down there, but I don't think they're going to do anything too crazy here. I think a tie doesn't really hurt them too much here in the standings.
Yeah, remember, this is a Waconia team that has a win over New Prague, but a loss to Hopkins. Two teams that Hastings has beaten, and while those games don't affect the section standings, they do affect the QRF.
Yes.
And the QRF may come into play. The coaching staff has not received clarification on if it's a QRF or a coach vote in about a month's time. Off the face-off, Niederkorn taken down. Now behind the net it comes here near side. And covered by Smelzer. Boys basketball loses to South St. Paul, by the way, 83-75. 40.5 seconds to go here in overtime. And if you're the Raiders, you just got to hopefully settle in and keep this maybe 2-2 right now. Like you said, Derek, probably the best case scenario. That was actually a nice save by Smelzer.
Yeah, it was. And again, guys right in front of him. You don't make that. If you don't catch that, there's a rebound opportunity right there.
Raiders won the face-off. Can they spring something shorthanded here in the final 34 seconds? They might. They very well might. Finn Zaruba is 1-on-3, but he's done it before. Zaruba trying to go around behind, trying to set up Hansen on a centering pass, but it's taken away by Waconia with 20 seconds to go. Here comes Kyler Cox. Cox just throws it off the board. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Here's Niederkorn. He's got it in the corner. They'll get it out. It's Woodwick. Hansen has sprung free. Woodwick has it on the stick of Carter Hansen with 6 seconds. Hansen with 5, and it's off his stick, and this game's going to end in a tie. Final score tonight, Hastings 2, Waconia 2. It's the first tie for Hastings this year. It's the third for Waconia, Hastings now 9-7-1. Waconia 8-6-3. And this one could play a role in the section placement of both teams down the line, despite the different sections that they are in. But really fun hockey game tonight nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a close game. Fun game all around. Some fun chances in the third period. Of course, Zaruba's amazing goal. A lot of fun chances in overtime. That save that Wozniak had when I thought for sure Shower had won the game.
Yeah, Wozniak was great tonight. Stopped 23 out of 25. Smelzer stopped 20 out of 22. So their numbers will stay up. On the TV side, producer-director Hunter Pinky. Camera operators are Max Slocum, Ashley Andrus, and Will Celine. Hunter also does graphics and replay and pretty much everything else. He's Derek Simon. I'm Trey Lauer. We'll say goodbye on HCTV. We're going to keep it here on KDWA for some more post-game. Join HCTV tomorrow night for the adapted sports. Join KDWA Thursday night for Prescott boys basketball against Baldwin Woodville. But that's it on the TV side from Hastings Civic Arena. We'll be right back on KDWA to wrap things up.